What's going on, world? I'm the K,
And on the C, you already know.
and we're back to vibe with you one more time for another episode. Here we're on episode what's it, seven?
It's looking at 7 to 6.
It's
7.
seven.
Looking at 7.
Episode 7. This is a public service announcement. Today's episode, we are talking about what are we talking about?
What we talking about? Okay, we're talking about sets, people. Sets. The big 3 letters SES.
Public service announcement. If you're gonna be uncomfortable, go ahead and shut it off. Maybe you should save y'all ears for the next episode because we getting into it right after this little introduction. Yup.
Yeah.
All right. See you in a bit. All right. I hope y'all got everything y'all needed.
Welcome back.
All right. So, sex in a relationship. We actually started with this topic last podcast, and we said we're gonna save it for a podcast all on its own.
Yeah. It's a big one.
So let's talk about sex in a relationship. I guess we can say from the last episode, you think it's very, 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 very,
It
very,
is.
very, very, very
It is
important.
very important. And if you don't think it is, to me, it's one of the vital things to a relationship. It doesn't make up the whole relationship, but without it, you got to have it, because it's important.
Well, there's a difference between sex in general and sex with the right person.
Okay, what's the difference?
Sex with the right person is different
Yeah,
than just sex
okay,
in general, right?
I get that. Yeah, because if you just having a little, you going to the club try to get a booty call, that's just what that is, a booty call. You know what I'm saying? But if you are having sex with, your wife or somebody who you really care about, of course it's different. It's not the same. It's not a fling.
Because sex is more than just physical. You
It's
feel me?
it's emotional, and it's also I mean it's physical too, but it's more of an emotional standpoint when you doing it with somebody who you really care about and you love. It's different. So yeah,
You know the difference between when we first did the do compared to the other times the do was done?
when we first did it,
Yeah.
when we first did it, I didn't think it was gonna be something that led up to us being married, but when we did it, caught feelings, you know, one thing led to another one, and some years down the line, we still together. So, it wasn't you. I truly cared about you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just want to be like a one hitter quitter. I was like, well, after this, I'm gonna continue to, we're gonna continue to try to make this thing happen. So it wasn't just about the sex for me.
For me, it was different because it was like before we actually had sex, we had more of an emotional connection than anything.
Yeah,
So, like, you were able to, as stated before, you were able to make love to my mind before you touched my body.
yeah,
So that when we actually did have sex, it was different.
yeah. I mean, and that's how some cats, some dudes, man, they play. They play that game. They gonna talk to you. Try to wrap you around their finger. What I'm saying, make you truly believe that they really care. And some people have a hard time dictating. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, dictating. Whether this guy really cares, or he's just trying to get in my drawers. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't playing no games. I played plenty of games before, but when it came to you, I wasn't playing no games, and we made that connection emotionally, and we felt each other from a different standpoint. So I think So when we had sex for the first time, that played a big role in it. It was more than just the physical.
Right.
So yeah,
So fast forward all these years later,
yeah,
and we still rocking. How is that possible?
because we never took the emotional aspect out of it. You know, that never left, and emotions last forever. You know what I'm saying? You can be with a person. You can marry the most beautiful person or the most handsome person in the world, and if you're not emotionally connected to that person, you can have sex 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You will get tired of that person. You will get tired of the looks, whatever. You don't. You like, okay, I'm tired of you. I don't care if you is the sexiest man alive or the sexiest woman alive. I'm tired of you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no emotional connection there. It's only physical. So that's why, what I'm saying, with us, like I said, it was more than just physical. It was emotional. That's why I still believe that from then to this day and beyond, you know, we're gonna continue to rock because of that.
Now, how do you feel? There's certain couples who have sex on special occasions only. How do you feel about that?
That's BS. That's bullshit for real. Because why? Why? It's supposed to be a treat, a award,
An award?
reward, whatever. Award, reward. It's all the same thing to me. So, is that what it's supposed to be? Used as a tool? I don't think so. I don't
Um,
think so.
I guess different relationships is different. Like me, I am a very sexual person.
Yeah, I'm a lucky man.
So
Yeah, but that's kind of that's bullshit, man. Because
there are some people who's not like that though.
I understand that, but at the same time, you're gonna use it as a tool against this person, whether it be male or female.
You know what I think is honestly,
What's up?
I believe that if a person does not know their body very well
Yeah,
and does not know their partner's body very well, it's hard for them to achieve actual pleasure out of
but
sex. So of course,
don't that go back into the emotional?
not really. So of course, like if you don't know your body or your partner's body, you're not gonna do something that's not enjoyable.
Exactly.
So I think that's what it is. It's more so than not just emotional.
Yeah,
It's physical too.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
in order for you to achieve the highest peak, you
yeah.
have to know your own body.
Baby, we grown here. You can say orgasm, climax. You ain't got to say highest peak.
I'm not even gonna say that because it's also possible to have great sex without orgasm.
Mm, yeah, yeah, but everybody wants to achieve that at the end of the day. Everybody wants to achieve that.
And then it's also possible to come without a full blown orgasm.
I've never seen that part. Never seen that part. I
It's
mean, unless it's
possible.
for literally women, but men, we don't go through that. We don't do that.
No, I'm saying you told me just say it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying when I
yeah.
say achieve
You
the
said,
highest
yeah,
point.
you said it's possible for you to come but not have an orgasm.
Yeah. So I'm not just talking about orgasms. I'm talking about like fully enjoying sex. Period. There's people who just don't enjoy sex. People who consider it more of a chore than an actual
Them folks ain't doing it right.
experience.
Them folks ain't doing it right.
Which goes back to what I was saying. Being able to know your
Look,
body
exactly.
and know your partner's body.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But if we in it for the physical, why would I even take the time to get to know you better?
What?
If you in it for the physical,
I'm talking about
relationships,
and
okay.
marriages.
So with that being said, if they're only doing it during special occasions,
Mm-hmm.
they're only doing it for the physical. They're not doing it for the emotions of it, right? That okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have sex on your birthday, on Christmas, or whatever. They're only doing it for the physical. Because if it was an emotional thing, I mean, you couldn't keep your hands off each other. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say that Cause being all honest, we honest with the people of our podcast. There's been times I've been pissed off at you and we still had
That's
sex.
different.
No, cause it's not. It's you said emotional.
Yes, because if you pissed off, that carries emotional weight on you, right? If I'm pissed off at you, you on one side of the room, I'm on the other side of the room. Eventually we gonna talk and make up. You know, and a lot of time that results with sex too.
You're not hearing what I'm
Okay,
saying.
but I'm hearing what you say. If you pissed off at me, you don't want to have sex with me.
No, I
That's what I'm saying.
said there's been times where I done had sex with you while I was pissed off at you.
I mean, you can't get enough of your boy.
No, it's.
I'm just playing. I'm playing.
I'm saying that's more.
Yeah.
It's more than just emotional.
Yeah, I feel you.
So you can't say that they don't have an emotional connection if they're not having sex. I think it goes back to the point of you can't do something if you don't fully enjoy it.
Okay.
I think it's very important for females to take the time out to get to know their bodies.
Of course.
Yeah. Research your body.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what helps you reach that point.
Yeah, of course.
Trial and error. There's ways that you can do it, because I think what ends up happening is a lot of females get into it, the theatrics of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be sure that they're looking good. They want to be sure that they're sounding good. They want to be sure that they look like a porn star when it's happening and all that.
Just a fake.
And they do that to please the man that they're with, because they feel, hey, that's what's going to make him happy.
Just a fake.
That's going to make him go for it.
Mm.
But in all honesty, they're not being themselves and they can't achieve that point. Same thing with dudes.
What do you mean?
Sometimes dudes get into the theatrics. How am I looking stroking this? How do I look? So they're not going to fully let loose and fully be submerged in the sexual experience, because they're going to be so concerned about how they're looking.
And that's the physical.
How's my face look? How's my...
Yeah, and there's no emotion involved at all. There's no emotions involved with that.
So I think a lot of females and males, as I said females before, but a lot of females and males get caught up in the theatrics of sex.
Yeah, but
and that's what makes it not
let me
enjoyable.
tell you something. I'm not a sexist or nothing like that. I'm not a weirdo. But you see that usually happen with more females than dudes. Dudes, we ain't gonna fake nothing. But a lot of women do fake it, and you gotta. That's true, right?
Yeah.
A lot of women do fake it, and they do it to please their partner, or they do it to make it seem like it's something bigger than what it really is, because when it comes to sex, we gotta understand that the female, the woman, is more of a big deal to them than it is for a man. It ain't.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Okay, elaborate. Okay. Not saying it's a true story, but let's say dude goes to the club with his homeboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They chill, having a good time. Go to the bar, see a little chick there. You know what I'm saying? He buys her a drink, they exchange numbers. They he calls her the next day, they chilled at the club, but they ain't really doing that. So he calls her the next day and asks how she was doing. Like, you want to go out somewhere? She agrees to it. They go out. Then, at the end of the day, they spend the night together. The dude just like, okay, well, this is it. This is all I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm different. You ain't gonna lose my number. You ain't gonna hear from me again. Don't look for me. Don't go back to the club looking for me. But with that female, she's gonna be like, dang, man, he just did it and that's it.
That's right. Do you believe in soul ties in a relationship?
Of course, yeah. I do believe in soul ties.
Well, not even in a relationship, in general?
Yes.
Okay. So, that's what it is. You remember in, I was in school, they used to have this commercial, and they used to show, like, all the partners that was connected to the person. It's like, you sleep with this person, which means you also sleep with this person, this person, this person. It's a bunch of soul ties.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which goes back to the emotional aspect of sex. But I was talking about, like, in a relationship. how it turns into a performance, a theatrical
Yeah,
performance
I mean,
to
I'm gonna just say this, baby. In the beginning stages of a relationship, yeah, but if somebody been with this person for 5, 10 years, that theatrical stuff kind of go out the window.
there's some people, some relationships out there who still, that's why you see so many instances with like men cheating with younger females or men cheating with females who favor what they girl favored when they first got together, or females cheating with younger dudes, or freaking Instagram models, stuff like that, because they crave that.
And that goes back to the physical aspect. They crave that physicality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I right? I mean, because we're talking about two different sexes. We're talking about emotional and physical. And you want both, a combination of both. Not one or the other. Because you can fall in love with a person, emotions. You know that, right?
Hmm.
You can emotionally fall in love with somebody, but not really like them physically.
You can also fall in love with the sex.
Of course.
People can be crappy people,
Mm-hmm.
like absolutely terrible people,
Mm-hmm.
but have some bomb sex, and that's what's holding them together.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
that toxic, that toxicity
Toxicity. Toxicity.
in a relationship.
Toxicity. Yeah, and that right there is that's very toxic. Because it's kind of like, hey, I want to let this person go, but god dang.
Yeah,
You
it be
know what I'm
like
saying?
that.
But god dang.
But I think it's important. Going back to what I said, I think it's important in relationships for people to educate themselves on their body and their partner's body.
It's important. It's very important.
Know what makes them reach that level. Knows
Yeah.
what makes them get to that level.
Yeah. And I think too, a lot of people are afraid to come out their shell.
That is true. You have to be able to be
Yeah,
vulnerable
yeah.
with the
You
person
gotta,
you're
you
having
gotta,
sex
you
with.
gotta be able to come out your shell. And what kills a lot of relationships, especially in the bed, is people not opening up. You
Hmm.
know, because they too afraid to try different things that they ain't never tried before. And the other partner can be very, very spontaneous, and could be like, "Hey, look, I want to do this. I want to try this instead of doing the same old thing. Let's
Hmm.
switch it up." And the other partner can be like very reserved and like, "Oh, nah, we ain't finna go that route."
So,
So
do you think people, just like you have to be compatible, like equally yoked, they say, in a relationship, do you think you have to be compatible in the aspect of sex as well?
absolutely, it's got to be like a equal ground.
Like the same sex drive?
It don't have to be the same sex drive, but you have to be like, okay, well, you know what, man, yeah, cause eventually you gonna start reflecting the other person. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, if I'm with a person that has a low sex drive, and I know my sex drive is high, you know, there's a reason why that person's sex drive is low. Maybe they had bad experiences in the past, or maybe I haven't took the time out to show this person, hey, look, if if we do this and do that, maybe that'll kind of open up a little bit for your enjoyability or your pleasure while we're in the bed. And you never know. It could be something real simple, like using toys or anything. You know what I'm saying? And that it would basically make that person's rocks go off, socks go off, you know, and then they'll be addicted. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah.
So
So that goes back to knowing your partner's cues.
exactly,
Like you can tell when your partner's not enjoying it.
exactly,
You can tell when your partner's enjoying it.
same old thing. Exactly, man. We could tell. We could tell.
Females can tell too. Because
Yeah.
honestly, me, I'm not gonna say I'm selfish, but I'm selfish ish.
Okay.
You ain't gonna get yours out of your mind. I know your cues. I know when it's about to be game over. I know when to switch it up.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So knowing your partner's body. right?
You got to.
So, how do you feel about, oh, how
Come
can
on,
I put
what's
this?
up? What's up?
How do you feel about people only doing oral for holidays? I've heard more times than none males and females who just don't give head.
Now, you got that goes back to this. There's a reason why they don't like doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason. There's always a reason why a person doesn't like doing something. Find out why. And tell that person to be transparent and be honest with you. You know, maybe they just think it's nasty. That's just nasty. My mama taught me better than that.
My neck be
My
hurting.
auntie said don't ever do this right here. Oh no, my uncle told me not. No, no, none of that. Okay, all right. So find out the reason why that person don't like that. Talk to your partner and be like, hey, look, come on, we together. You know, we can explore different options. If you don't like this or you think that this is bad, I'm gonna make sure I freshen up real good. You know, they got flavored lubes and stuff like that if you want to get that stuff involved. And it, not to be freaky or nothing like that, but it tastes like candy. So
I know I do.
so so use those options, man. Use those options and try to get that person to relax the best way that they can, and explore those options. And the next thing that person ain't gonna never want to stop doing.
It's a moral of the story.
Open,
If someone was to come to you
yeah.
and ask you for sex advice, what would you tell them?
So just to put the disclaimer out there,
That's
men,
your phone this time. It's
yeah,
usually my phone. That's your phone.
that's my dad. But men don't do that. We don't do that. We don't we don't talk about we talk about sex, but it ain't like, bro, how you do that, bro? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not
How,
even
how
that.
many
Like,
how many strokes you did?
you have a, you should know your stroke count.
Man, look, and then I'm
You
gonna share it with another dude.
you have a podcast
Mm-hmm.
where you give relationship advice. So if a listener was to come to you and ask you for sex advice, what advice would you give them?
Like, it depends on what type of advice they asking for, Kanisha.
If they ask you, how can I have the most successful sex life in my relationship?
Okay, that's a very general question. It's not specific.
That's very
So
specific.
I would be like, look, okay, like we always say, this goes back from the first podcast that we did. Communicate.
Communicate. Communication.
Yes, yeah, communicate. You know what I'm saying? And talk to your partner and be like, hey, babe, look, I know, we really don't talk about this, but let me know what you enjoy. What you like. What do I do wrong? And what do I do right? Because believe me, homie, you could think that you're doing everything good, but it's something that you ain't doing right. And she ain't going to probably tell you because she don't want to mess up your ego. So just be honest with yourself and have a conversation with her and ask her, hey, what am I know you, keep it real. Keep it 8 more than 92. What am I not doing right and what am I doing right? Tell her to critique you and listen to her step by step. Take notes if you got too much. Okay? What you're doing right.
Taking notes.
Take notes, man,
Is
because
this a
we forget
research
stuff.
paper?
Yes, we forget stuff. So, and she be like, okay, I don't like when you do that. Okay. She don't like when I do that. Oh, I like it when you do that. Check. She like it when I do this. Look at your bads and your goods. If your bads outweigh your goods, homie, you ain't good. If your good outweigh your bad, you're doing something right. So take those goods and focus on them goods and make sure that is the main piece of your pie when it comes to pleasuring your woman. That's the advice that I give to a person like that. It's all about honesty, man. Communication and being honest with.
You know what
with
advice I
somebody.
would give?
What's that?
Educate yourself.
That is educating yourself.
That's educating yourself with educate yourself with your own body. Educate yourself with your partner's body. Like education goes a long way. I sold sex toys for years, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of stuff that I read about that I would have never even thought to experiment with
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't educate myself. Knowing your body, knowing I'm not talking about a lot of people try to educate themselves off of pornos.
Can I
That's what
interject?
I'm not talking about.
Can I interject? Okay. Can I interject?
What's up?
I get it. But you gotta understand something. That is dealing with most of the women. Cause y'all are a complex species.
It's dealing with males too.
We don't have to get to know our body. We know what to do with what we got. And we
That's the issue.
you know
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Go
That's
ahead, go
the
ahead.
issue.
Yeah.
A man thinks just because they get their dick wet, they're having sex right.
I ain't say
That's
that.
not the case.
I ain't
There's
say
a
that.
difference between you busting a nut and you having a full blown
Yeah,
orgasm.
he's taking his triplets right.
There is a difference between you just busting a nut and you being able to have your toes curled, your eyes roll, and all that.
Uh-huh.
You know the differences between those two nuts.
Uh-huh.
You know the differences between a quickie nut and between a nut where it's like, okay, this work got put in. She touched all the right places. She rubbed all the right places. She licked all the right places, and boom, it was a full blown explosion. So I cannot say that that's just for the female aspect. That's for male and female.
Okay, you got a point.
Both people should know their bodies.
You got a point.
You have sweet spots that's outside of your penis, along with every other man in this world.
Sweet spots.
Sweet spots that's outside of your penis
Uh.
that will get your blood a pumping before I even touch anywhere near that vicinity.
Okay.
So it's not just females, it's females and males. And that's what I said. Sex is more so than just let's do this, let's get it over with. Sex is a full experience.
Of course it is.
So if you educate yourself to enjoy that experience, it takes it a long way.
Okay, I guess I can, for lack of better terms, I can reword what I was trying to explain. Yeah, you're absolutely right what you just said. But what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't take much for a man to get off. It may take a little bit more for a female. That's what I mean by more complex. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by we're more simple. Females are more complex. Because it could take a whole lot more to get y'all to where y'all need to be at than it takes us.
Sometimes it takes men a minute to get to where they need to be.
Yeah, it depends on, a couple different factors. But yeah.
Visual is a lot.
Visualization, that is a lot. It's a whole lot.
And so it takes a man a minute to get to where he needs to be too.
Depends.
It's a puzzle.
Depends on how often he does what he do. You know what I'm saying? We're grown. It depends on how often he has sex.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle. I mean, honestly, like if I go somewhere, if I had to go to training for a week, okay, come back home, we had sex. I'm not gonna last that long, but if we having sex every day, of course, I'm gonna still get it, but it's gonna take a longer time because it's a refraction period is what they call it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Google it. Shit. But yeah.
Educate yourself. Look at that.
Exactly.
You proving my point.
So the more a man go without having sex, the more a man goes without having sex. So that's that. So
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's a lot of factors that go into it.
of course,
Like there's foreplay that goes into it. There's actual
exactly.
It's a full blown puzzle.
Yes, it is, and this the thing about it. Exploration, exploring each other bodies.
Look
you know
at
what I'm saying?
Proving my point.
Exactly, but the thing I was just trying to say is that we are more simple than the female, than you guys. I mean, because it doesn't take much for us. It could take a big many factors for the female. Foreplay.
That's not true.
Yes again. Name me one female that. Oh, I got mine. And you ain't even did nothing. You only 4 strokes. She got hers. It does not happen like that.
If a dude gets his in 4 strokes, we really
Oh,
need to
yeah.
revisit the
Let me tell you
situation.
something.
If your
Let me tell
stroke
you
count
something.
is four,
My first
if
time,
your stroke count
my
is four,
look.
you have
Let
a
me tell
bigger
you something.
problem, and
My
maybe
first time.
maybe you need to practice before
Let
you
me tell you something.
you
My first time,
experiment.
probably about three, 4.
I hope it was 3 long ones,
Oh
cause
nah, they were regular. They
nah.
were regular. But I'm just saying that just proved my point. You would never get yours in 4 stroke. A man can probably get his in 4 stroke.
A
You would
female
never.
can get that. It depends on the strokes.
Okay.
Maybe not 4 pumps, but 4 actual strokes. It depends.
Okay.
It depends how your day went, how stressed out you are. If there was foreplay involved, that's stuff that goes into it.
Never. A woman would never get hers with 4 strokes. I don't care what type of woman you with. You gonna be looking at that man like, are you serious? Are you serious?
You don't think it's possible if there was like foreplay involved
Yeah,
beforehand?
if foreplay was involved, it's a possibility.
For
Yeah, that
four
means
strokes or foreplay involved?
yeah, but does foreplay include head?
Yeah, that's foreplay.
Okay, well yeah, she's gonna probably be down there by that time.
And then it gets in 4 strokes?
Yeah.
Let's test the theory. That being said, you guys, thanks for coming hanging out with us one more time. We got some what's the word? You got your hypothesis, and
Yeah.
now we gotta see how accurate your hypothesis is.
Exploration.
So,
Educate yourself.
as usual, if you want to reach us, you got anything to say, any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and reach out to askkcvibe@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can find your girl on all my social media outlets. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat as @thereal_knockout. That's DAREAL_knockout. You can also find your girl on TikTok at ayo_ko with the number 2. That's AYO_KAYO and the number 2. If you're looking for us on YouTube, go ahead and look up KC Vibe. If you are looking for us on Facebook, look up KC Vibe. If you're looking for the podcast, shoot. Google KC Vibe Podcast. We everywhere.
You're going to find it.
We everywhere.
If you can't find it after you do that, you blind.
Don't forget to share. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know how we doing here. Boo, you want to give out your stuff?
Yeah, hopefully I get it right this time.
Put
you
my
know.
hair up in the ponytail.
You
Go
can
for
find
it.
your boy at Marty Mar. I'm sorry, I messed up already. You can, you can find your boy on Instagram and TikTok at Marty Mar 86. That's MARTIMAR 86. MARTIMAR 86. That's on Instagram and TikTok. You can find your boy on the goddamn Snapchat, Snapchat, whatever it's called, at Marty Mar _14. That's at MARTIMAR _14. So, hit your boy out sometime, y'all. So,
yeah.
That's that.
So, as usual, I'm the K.
And I'm the C.
Thanks for vibing with us.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.